When you search for accommodation, you have various options such as hotels, Japanese inns, and capsule hotels. But of course, staying at traditional Japanese inn is the most attractive choice for you. But however, if you search for accommodation in Tokyo, I don't recommend staying in a Japanese inn. So in this video, I'm gonna explain why I don't recommend staying in a Japanese inn in Tokyo. Okay, so before I'm gonna explain the reasons why you should not stay in a Japanese inn in Tokyo, let's quickly check why people choose to stay at Japanese inns instead of other accommodation. That will help you why you shouldn't stay in a Japanese inn in Tokyo. There are 4 main reasons why people stay at Japanese inn. Alright, this first reason is facilities. One of the good things of staying in a Japanese inn is they have a lot of facilities such as hot springs, ping pong court, and museums. Well, especially experiencing a Japanese hot spring is definitely the thing you should try when you visit Japan. Well, open air baths, known as rotenburo in Japanese, is really amazing. You definitely try it. These baths offer a unique experience. You soak in a bath while you see the nature. In addition, the atmosphere is completely different, depends on the season. Of course, in the morning and lunchtime and evening, they are completely different, so you can enjoy soaking in the bath with different situations. Believe me, hot spring is really lovely and truly amazing. So that is why many people choose to stay at Japanese inn instead of other accommodations. Alright, so the second reason is Japanese food. One of the significant reasons why people choose to stay at Japanese inn is for food. Especially traditional kaiseki meals are often served. These meals usually use seasonal ingredients and offer local dishes as well. Enjoying local food is very appealing because you can't experience it in other places. Even I was born in Japan, grew up in Japan, but when I stay at Japanese inns, I find some new Japanese food that I've never ever experienced before, which is obviously a great experience to know new Japanese dishes, and also it's delicious. Alright, so the third reason is Japanese room. At Japanese inn, you can basically stay at traditional Japanese style room. But traditional Japanese style room has calming atmosphere that allows you to take a good rest. Of course, the sleeping on Japanese futon on tatami mat is also a unique experience you have never ever experienced before. That is not the experience that you can experience in Japanese hotel. You know, even I still feel like some unique experience when I sleep on Japanese futon on tatami mat because I usually sleep on the bed and my room at the moment. It's completely different from traditional Japanese style room. So overall, you can experience total Japanese hospitality if you stay in a Japanese inn. Of course, you can't experience most of them if you stay at other accommodations. So that is why many people choose to stay in a Japanese inn instead of other accommodations. So staying in a Japanese inn sounds amazing, right? But why I don't recommend staying in a Japanese inn in Tokyo? Alright, so the first reason is Tokyo is a great city for sure, but unfortunately it doesn't have vast space and a lot of nature. So of course Japanese inns in Tokyo also have hot springs. However, it's a bit difficult to have the best experience of hot springs. Best thing of hot spring for me is soaking in the bath outside, open air bath. You know, while you are in the full of nature or something like that. But it's difficult in Tokyo, as I explained, it's not enough nature in Tokyo. That is why it's a good idea to stay in a Japanese inn in the countryside instead of Tokyo. Alright, so the second reason is Tokyo is one of the biggest cities in the world, so you have many options than you expected. That means you may find more affordable and enticing dining options outside of your accommodation. On the other hand, when you travel to rural area in Japan, the choices becoming significantly fewer. So for example, this is the neighborhood of the Japanese in the countryside where I stayed last time. You know, there is nothing around the accommodation. Well, in addition, considering a transportation in the countryside is very limited, having a Japanese inn that takes care of your meal is very appealing in the countryside. Of course, you can enjoy local dishes there as well. So if you are considering staying in a Japanese inn in Tokyo because you want to try Japanese food, please consider it again. It is necessary to do it in a Japanese inn in Tokyo. As I said, there are plenty of options outside of your accommodation in Tokyo. Alright, the third thing is flexibility. There are two things you should know before staying at the Japanese inns. The first one is mealtime is basically set and not flexible. This is actually one of the things that many foreign tourists in Japan feel a bit frustrated, to be honest. Alright, so basically Japanese inns set the dinner time from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and guests must decide their dinner time when they check in the accommodation. As I said, Tokyo is a big city, you have plenty of options to do. So you will find so many attractive things outside of your accommodation. So sometimes you may forget your time, or you want to extend the things to do outside or something like that. So in that case, setting a dinner time is kind of lack of flexibility or something like that. Of course, it's okay in the countryside because there are actually nothing to do outside of your accommodation. But in Tokyo, it's totally different. Alright, so the second one is some Japanese inns have curfew. Many set curfew times usually from 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. I guess. I think it might not be a big deal for you, but if you are young travelers and want to experience Japanese nightlife, especially in Tokyo, curfew is definitely something you feel frustrated. From this perspective, of course it depends on Japanese inns, but it's a good idea to be flexible, especially you are in Tokyo because there are a lot of things to do than you expected. Well, as I explained, staying at Japanese inns offer you a great experience that you have never ever experienced in your life. You should stay at Japanese inns when you visit Japanese countryside, not in Tokyo. But again, Japanese inn countryside is really good, completely different from Japanese inn in Tokyo. Especially hot springs are open air baths with full of nature. Please try staying in a Japanese inn, especially when you go to Japanese countryside. If you're searching for a place to stay in Tokyo, please also watch this video in which we introduce the best area to stay in Tokyo. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. Have fun staying at Japanese inns. Bye.